There's an old saying out there that people use all the time. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Now, being an old dog myself, I kind of resent that statement a little bit. Perhaps it's true of canines or dogs, but it's not necessarily true of people. I don't think the problem is the age of an individual. I think it's their mindset. When I look at the way things have changed in the world and in our own business, there's no way that you can stay the way you were and still function properly or successfully. For example, years ago when we first started, contracts were all hand delivered or actually delivered by mail. We didn't have things like emails or DocuSign or any of that kind of technology at our fingertips. If you wanted to send a fax contract to somebody, oftentimes schools would not accept that as a legal and binding document because the signature wasn't original. Boy, have times changed. I remember years ago, I had a client, it was the first client I ever worked with, that wanted to do things exclusively via email. I begged and pleaded to get a phone number from them and just couldn't. They were absolutely digging their heels in, and I finally got them to give us a cell phone number as an emergency contact with the understanding that we would never use that in any way other than if it was an emergency. It was really hard for me to do a job or to do a contract with a client that I never spoke to, never met with. Everything was done via email. Now I would say 90+% of the contracts that I write, I don't ever talk to the person. We may have a meeting at some point, but oftentimes the contracts are started and finished and negotiated all via email. I even have clients now that text me information asking for contract details or a contact person for that night through text. Since 2020, I've been working at home, so I've been working remotely, and now everything has changed for me. My signature on my email has my cell phone number on it. I'm rarely in the office, and most of my clients know that now. There are pluses and minuses to that. The plus is that I'm always available to my clients. The minus is I'm always available to my clients. People think nothing of texting me at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning as they're looking over their to-do list and figuring out something that they needed to get done and hadn't had a chance to do it during the day. Perhaps they have insomnia. Perhaps they just have to finish this in order to be able to go to bed and sleep comfortably. It is a plus and a minus. But again, the profession has changed. Business has changed. I was talking about this with my wife the other day, and we were commenting how people's work schedules have so drastically changed since COVID. With people working at home and working remotely, and oftentimes now taking advantage of a flexible schedule, they think nothing of sending me an email at 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and honestly, they're not even shocked when I respond right back. So again, I think you can teach an old dog new tricks. I look at my mother-in-law, who's over 80, and is very engaged and invested in social media. 30 years ago, there was no such thing as social media, and 20 years ago, it certainly wasn't the thing it is today. But she loves it. She loves being able to communicate and get photos. So you can teach an old dog new tricks as long as the dog is willing to learn. This is Ken Abrams from Fun Enterprises. Have a great week.